Hi, I'm Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about something that I am calling the joy list and the joy experiment. Basically, this video is a presentation of my hypothesis for this experiment that I want to try to do in my life, and maybe you would like to do it as well with me. So, I guess we'll backtrack for why this list and experiment even came to exist in my mind. For the past 2 years, let's just say, as I've mentioned in some of my other videos, especially my Dream With Me vision board video, if you want to go back and watch that one, you'll have a more understanding of this. Basically, the past 2 years were kind of some of the hardest for me to walk through. I was very low. I felt very stagnant. Like, everything was just kind of passing me by and I didn't even realize it. And that I was just waiting for things to happen to me without me then taking any steps for something to then happen. So it wasn't until really this past October when I was on a girls' weekend trips with my 2 friends, Lily and Lauren, in the Berkshires. I'll set the scene. So after this trip, we were talking about all these things, and it was kind of the first time I opened up to anybody about what I had been feeling. And not only had I gone through these past 2 years of feeling stuck and stagnant, I'd also, over the summer, experienced real grief for the first time. And with all this accumulation of things and finally talking about it, and then on the drive home, I was listening to Noah Kahan's album Stick Season for the first time and looking at all this beautiful fall foliage, and really made me realize that I didn't want to keep living like that. That's never what I pictured. That's not what I want it for my life. That's not how I want it to be moving forward. And so when I got home, I sat down and I wrote a list. I wrote a list of all the things that brought me joy. Could be and small things, big things, just anything that I could think of that I knew that when I did those things, I felt the most like myself. And so I'll share them with you in a bit. But so after I wrote this list, I decided for myself that no one was going to do this for me. I had to do it for me. Now, this is where the experiment comes in. I want to use these things that I wrote down on this list and try to find practical ways to implement them into my daily life. So, over the course of this year, 2023, I am going to try and do more of these things and document it, and then see where I am at the end of the year and how I'm feeling versus where I was at and how I was feeling in the beginning of the year, and kind of compare and see what happens when you start focusing on the things and people that lift you up and bring you joy, and where that can lead you. And no, this is also taking steps, kind of little steps every day into ultimately the direction that I want to be in. And my hypothesis is that I think looking back on this video and looking back in this journal, by this time next year, where we will be in 2024, I kind of think a lot's going to change this year, in the best way possible. I think it all starts with you and how you approach your own life and what you invest your time into and the people that you invest time into. So by doing this experiment and by making time and prioritizing things that do bring me joy, not only will your life then start to be kind of more aligned with what you're aiming towards, not that everything's going to happen and come to you within a year. That's not feasible. It's not realistic. But that I am going to be closer to making that happen. And I think what you exude, you get back. So by focusing on the things that genuinely make you happy and make you feel lighter, you then become that light. And then what you give off to other people, and then they start feeling it as well. And then you kind of, what you give off, you get back tenfold. So that's my hypotheses for this kind of year-long experiment that I am going to try to do. Because you also never know where things may lead you. And if you never try, nothing's going to come of it. So, hard truths that I had to learn. Well, now I'm going to read you what's on my list. And I encourage you all, either before you hear my list or afterwards, to sit down and do this for yourself. It can be the smallest of things, and it can be the biggest of things and experiences. So, write your list. Be on a scrap paper, the back of a napkin. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you keep it. I mean, you should keep it. I'm a nostalgic, sentimental heart. I keep everything, but I think it's a really good exercise for anyone to do, to then kind of reframe your mindset once you take the time to actually think about it. Okay, so now I will read my list to you. We're friends here. We're being vulnerable. Okay, so at the top I wrote things that make me happy. I have dancing, acting, reading, music, writing of all forms, be it blog, creative writing, or even I loved like scholastic writing or writing poetry or just that form of creativity I really admire and love. I have a theater, a stage that just makes me so excited and really fills me with all of the adrenaline and making videos, coming up with concepts, storytelling, painting, helping people, meeting new people, making connections, travel and exploring new places, daydreaming, being surrounded by people I love, directing. I love directing. Directing from camp shows to film to theater. I really enjoy it. Photography. Love a good photo shoot. Well, I'm always down for a photo shoot. Um, Talking about things I'm excited about with people who are equally excited. You sometimes take that, I feel like you take it for granted, your excitement. Never dull anyone's excitement. Let them be excited. Classes, learning and discussing new things. Love a class setting so much. If I could just go still take college courses without having to pay for them and without, I don't mind writing an essay, but without being graded. Just notes. I would take a class every single day. I would. I love learning. Also love challenging myself in discussions in that setting. I love making things special. So going the extra mile for things, adding all the extra little details, and making an average day or an average event something that is people are going to remember, and that making someone else feel special by doing it too. I love researching for trips, going on Pinterest and websites and watching videos and finding the best restaurants to go to, or really fun things to do, or where to stay. And I really enjoy it, and I love then being able to share what I've learned and found after the trip with other people, and seeing them go and have as much fun as I did. That makes me happy. I love event planning. I was at one point the head of my campus activities board, and senior year, I was supposed to have this really awesome concert, but of course COVID, but it would have been epic. It was going to be so cool. But I love event planning. I love making the Pinterest boards and coming up with the idea for a theme. And like I said, going the extra mile and including all the little details to make things really special and make people feel seen, and just all the little details. And theme and the Pinterest board. I really love. I love playing games. People underestimate a good game, a good card game or a good board game, and it's really fun also with people who are equally as excited. People who also are can get really into it. It's so much fun just being silly and goofy with people, or it also helps with strategy and all that stuff. It's so much fun. Play some games with theater people. They are really into it, and it's really fun. Or just play more games, everyone. Go to Target, buy a game, get your friends together, and all commit to being invested into this game. It's really fun. I love concerts. I love live music of any kind. You ask me if I want to go to a concert, I will always say yes. I don't care if I don't know who the artist is. I will be there. Can't get tickets right now, but there's just something about live music that really, there's a moment that you have when listening to music, especially live music. The same with live theater and with film. And with reading books, when you have a really good book, it's kind of this indescribable feeling you get in your chest and your gut that makes you feel like you're infinite in a way, and that nothing else matters except that moment. And it is magic. So, walks. I love walks. I used to go on walks all the time in college when I needed to think things over, or I didn't know what to do, or I was having a bad day. I would just walk around campus and listen to music, bring a friend to talk to, or honestly just walk and think and work everything out in my brain. There's something about actively doing something, moving your body with the combination of the fresh air. It's the best. I also think it's the best time to talk to people is on a walk. because it's just one-on-one. There's like no other distractions. The same as when you're in a car with someone for like a long time during a road trip, you will get to know someone it's the best environment to get to know someone and have the most meaningful conversations. Then also, I really love skincare and learning about skincare and all the different ingredients and watching the videos on YouTube. And I love fashion and trying out new outfits, and there's also just so many other things that get me excited and make me happy and bring me joy that aren't on this list, because these are just some things that I thought off the top of my head. It's an ever-growing list, an ever-growing concept. That's my list. I genuinely would really love to know what is something that's on your list. The next step of this experiment is to put this list in action and try to do more of these things every day, or at least every week, and then see what happens. So thank you so much for sticking around and listening to this video, watching this video. Hope to hear about your own joy lists and your own joy experiment, and we can all divulge the results a year from now. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.